How's it going, everyone? Uh, yeah, it's not so easy making YouTube videos. I mean, I can do it because I've been doing it for years, but I do get the impression the very second I plug in that web camera, regardless of whether it's recording or not, it's recording. So I have to take that into consideration along with a whole pile of other alternate facts. Um, all right. Uh, I wanted to continue the discussion of organ donation. There are many aspects to it, and one of them being blood transfusion, donating blood. That I'm more on par with. I agree that people should be more aware of that, and that that would be beneficial for society if more people contributed blood. I know half the people out there are not eligible. I'm probably not eligible because of all the years of psychiatric medication I had to take, and also I'm an alcoholic, and probably other reasons. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. However, supposedly half the people are eligible, and about 1 in 60 only contribute. And I know it sounds like for a lot of people, it sounds, kind of creepy, spooky, vampire kind of like. And there most certainly are elements to it that are spooky. I mean, you look at the history of it and how the medical profession accidentally gave AIDS to a bunch of people. The thing is, there are a lot of people who become Canadian citizens and they don't come, they're not from here. They're mostly from Asia. And a lot of medical research, science, exchange of ideas, policies, and cyber hacking is a very real thing, and it comes from Asia. So they, no doubt, have a very good idea of Western screening processes for blood, and therefore can invent diseases or viruses, infections, anything um, that are undetectable um, eh, by our modern scientific forensic capabilities. Um, that is kind of spooky. I mean, if you've been in a car accident or something like that, and you need blood, I guess you ain't got much choice. You're damned if you don't. You're damned if you do. But hopefully, that's a little too far away, and they're a lot better with their screening processes these days. And this isn't the easiest thing for me to say because, well, A, I'm against organ donation, uh, because the system, not somebody willingly doing it who's a proper age and knows everything about it and is doing it for a loved one or whatever. That's a completely different story. I don't like the idea that it might shift towards involuntary organ donation and presumed organ donation. Uh, Whereas donation of blood, um, that does save lives. Organs get rejected, but blood, usually it doesn't because they, get the right blood type for the right person. And I think it usually works. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I've never needed it myself. But again, this isn't an easy thing for me to say, not only because of my stance on organ donation, but I had a sore throat for 7 years because of what they were injecting me with, and they did that on purpose. And then started calling me names so I couldn't tell anybody about my condition, and no one gave a rat's ass. You know, I've had people go, "Oh, my shin hurts," when I start to complain about my sore throat. And I'm like, if you want your ears to hurt, from me yelling at you, telling you to shut the fuck up about your shin, I got some serious problems here with my throat. I know you don't want to hear it because you only care about your own problems, but fuck you. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah, people, they have their own problems and they don't care and they look down on you and your problems don't matter for squat, especially if people have been calling you names for all these years. Bad names, and you know, basically there's a whole, you know, library of bad names you can call a person, and people instinctually simply believe it because they do, because they're stupid. Um, yeah, and most of the time they don't even have to be true to have that same effect, um, which is to isolate an individual. And anyway, this is important because they may decide, you know, that there are persons whom they've seen who have addiction problems, and then they like to play oracle. They like to play fortune teller. They like to think into the future and go, well, this person has alcohol problems, therefore he's probably going to get behind the wheel of a car at some point, cause an accident, and then, you know, jump to conclusions. So who's to say, you know, if you're a somewhat regular alcohol consumer, and they detect that in your blood, that they don't decide, well, we'll simply, you know, take it a step further and give them the same problem that they gave me. Um, they weren't taking blood from me; they were injecting me with stuff. So, you know, um, we like to believe that we live in a society where good prevails over evil, but actually, um, Rick Moranis said it best: evil will always win because good is dumb. And I wish he weren't right, but he is. And there's too many people running around that are stupid, and they have authority for some fucking reason. Who knows why? Um, Yeah, so or donating blood, that's not the same thing as donating organs. I'm not gonna say the blood donation system is squeaky clean with their record because it's not. And going forward, it still isn't squeaky clean, but it is a more reasonable aspect of donating bodily fluids, tissues, and things like that. I mean, it seems as though that every type of, you know, thing where someone's trying to do good as a civilian, when they rely on the bureaucratic system, um, they end up getting shafted and evil comes about it, and, you know, they don't get what they expected, even if they don't know that. Yeah, and that's kind of creepy stuff. Um, yeah, I do recommend that more people donate blood, but they should obviously know the facts. That's one thing I can't emphasize enough, is that people have got to know the facts, and that means not knowing the that means knowing the not so good facts as well, about the whole system and how things work. I don't believe, you know, well, don't bother explaining it to them if they don't have to. It'll change their minds, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, scare them from wanting to donate, so therefore they'll simply lie to them. I don't agree with that. I don't like liars. I don't like people who, you know, can't get their way without lying, can't be persuasive, or can't be reasonable. And they have to start lying because then they're a piece of trash. They'll lie about anything. And once they lie once, then the lies will continue. And then, you know, what kind of a person are you dealing with? Someone who thinks they're morally and intellectually smarter than you and therefore can lie to you and it doesn't matter. And it's like, hold the phone, fuck you. fuck you. You don't have a squeaky clean record, and you're not smarter than me in some ways. I mean, in some ways, I'm a dumbass, but I mean, I was downtown Vancouver wearing this bright gold and black jersey, strutting around, Brad Marchand. Oh, you can't see the six. There you go. And this one's even got Stanley Cup patch on it. And yeah, not a care in the world. And I was blindingly drunk the whole time. In fact, I've been off work for 2 days. I've been drunk the entire time, mostly. I've been awake. This is about as sober as I've been in 2 days. So I'm probably not eligible to donate blood, and I wouldn't do that, but I don't discourage blood donation like I do with the organ donation. Yeah, there's so many things about organ donation that it's like, yeah, like I said, fuck you. Yeah, so I didn't want people to get confused because those are two different things. It's the same category, the same genre, same category of story, but it's two different things: donating blood and donating an organ. Somebody doesn't have to die for someone to donate blood. That's the whole point. Is somebody healthy body donates blood and it saves a life. It's not, an organ donation where somebody has to die for somebody else to live. And I mean, of course, there are two kidneys and I think you can donate part of your liver or something like that. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me, but maybe it would to a medical person. Well, probably what it should do. However, yes, I had heard that it drastically shortens the life of said individual who donates that and slightly increases the life of somebody else who receives that organ. So these are all things that are going to be taken into consideration. And there's much more to it. On a good note, it was very nice that Boston won the first game against the Carolina Hurricanes. I didn't watch the game because I was downtown being drunk, and I was civil. But I noticed not many people said anything. Nobody said anything to me, as a matter of fact. I think one guy said, "Oh, wearing that jersey could get you into trouble." It was in the middle of the day, and it was like, it did feel like there was a shadow following me wherever I went, but it always feels that way. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't feel that way. And yeah, well, I guess that's all I got to say about that. So, get your facts, do your research. You want to donate blood, that's a whole lot more reasonable than some vulture coming around going, "Hey, can I have your organs? You're not going to need them when you're dead." Yeah, I can make a lot of money out of those. And people go, "Well, this doesn't seem very mainstream." Somewhere behind closed doors is adamant arguments ongoing, probably for years on this subject. And there are people out there like that. And it's like, yeah, even if you don't notice, that doesn't mean that it's not happening. That means that you're ignorant and you're stupid. Anyway, that's what I gotta say about that. So I'll talk to people later. Have a good one.